All right, so we get set for our third quarter of action, and the Spice have some work to do down 17 in this one, 47-30. Rich Quinones courtside. Mississippi looking to move to 2-0 on the season. And thus far, playing a very good half of basketball. Been able to do it from the inside, the outside, knocking down some three-point shots, doing a good job in the interior as well. It's been a very frustrating first half for the Spice in their away orange uniforms, and you'll see the Queens with their home yellows moving left to right, and number 22 Wilson has just been phenomenal in this first half. She'll drop it off inside. Williams off the glass, count it. That's a good start by Mississippi. We talked about the height during week one. Williams 5'10", Blunt 5'10", Womack 6'1". I mean, it's very tough to guard against that. That's a three ball coming back the other way, and I believe that was Brown, so that's good to see. Get her going in rhythm. We talked a little bit about the keys of the game. Young and Brown, you need at least 15 to 17 respectively between those two to at least keep this game within striking distance off the mark on that second back-to-back attempt. 19-point cushion, 51-32. Even though Mississippi has a substantial lead right now, I mean, the last thing you want to do is just start having some sloppy, careless turnovers. A lot of teams, week one, week two, some teams tipped off their season this weekend. Others, as we mentioned, already, got the, if you want to call it the ring rust out of their system, got their feet wet last weekend. We'll get you caught up to speed on what's going around the league as well. No entry. That's a turnover coming back the other end. Drop off. Nice look inside. Williams can't corral it. Regathers herself, picks up her dribble, trying to go inside. Careless pass. Shot clock winding down. Now here's your kick out. And the Spice won some numbers. Jones has had a very, very tough game today. I mean, they bodied her up. They banged her around a little bit, coming back the other end. I think that's Blunt. Free Blunt. Playing in familiar grounds. College ball in this venue. Wilson has it. She's been dominating. Long three. That's off the back end of the iron. Another look inside. And that's pretty much been the last 2 weeks, microcosm of the Spice's season to start things off. Just not being able, because they're such a guard-heavy team, they just don't have the bigs to match up right now. All time to shoot. Count it. And that drops home. I believe that was Jones with a three. So they're going to have to keep pushing it from here on out. And the looks have been there. But I would suspect when we get to the final seconds of this one, regardless of the outcome, Spice will probably have shot it right around 25 to 35 times from beyond the arc. And remember now, no Deja McKinney. So you lose that 37-point outburst last week. So you need other players to pick up the scoring, the slack. And they've gotten some really nice, clean looks. Young wants to push it. She's got numbers. And that drops home. So it looks like the Queens want to reset, talk about it for a moment, which gives us a moment to take a timeout as well. On the floor, early on in this third, 6:07 remaining. We'll step aside. Queens lead at 55-37 over the Spice. All right, back to live action, third quarter. See right there, 6:07 to go in this third. Queens with a comfortable 55-37 lead right now. Looking to move to 2-0. Spice looking to pick up their first win of the season. They got some work to do. Holmes. Drop off the Blunt. They'll swing it. Tough drive. Contested shot. And Williams drew the contact. She'll go to the line for 2. I believe Cal State U product. Aces move to 2-0. They rout Savannah 155-57. Nice start for the defending WABA champs. Hey, congrats to Virginia. They were down 20. They come roaring back earlier today, and they shock Greensboro 66-61. Second is true. Deja quick. Certainly quick today. Team high 27 in the triumph. James now with a long 3 off the mark. Steel City gets a very solid bounce attack. They go on the edge on point, 77-64. What's the Spriggs? 20. Oh, how about this move down the boulevard in traffic? You've got to be kidding me. Wilson again, right down the boulevard with another bucket. And now they're starting to press a little bit. Is Mississippi giving fits to Louisiana? That's going to be a 7-second infraction. Lady Cougars defense shined today, 96-60 over Winston-Salem. And the Lady Wolves were way too much for Maryland. They distanced them 112-83. Several players with 20 or more, including Shepard with 22 and 8 rebounds. And another turnover coming back the other way. Count the bucket. 2 becomes a 3. And let me just clean up from that prior update. Simmons with 20 and 4 as well. Another back-to-back-to-back turnovers drive any coach absolutely batty. And then add insult to injury, ticky-tack foul. Augusta defeats Atlanta 96-75. So with 4:55 to go, it's getting out of hand right now if you're a Spice fan. Mississippi with that press, they have done an outstanding job of disrupting the offensive flow. You need primary ball handlers bringing the ball up the floor. Williams to the line for 2. I mean, we talked a little bit about it during my keys to the game. Don't let the Queens use Windex on the glass. Again, they've been a team that's so physical. They've got the height advantage. They've got the length to reach, and they've done a great job. Now, we don't know if they're going to rip down 76 like they did in that opening. Also, Young and Brown, they got to pick up the offensive slack, and I think thus far they've held their own, and you got to get to the line. And right now, week 1, 13 of 16 efficient, but today, They have not been able to get to the line as efficiently as you would want them to do. All right, 4:59 to go. Stoppage on the floor. Queens up 63-37. 8-run O by Mississippi. We'll step aside. We'll come back. This is the WABA Game of the Week. All right, we welcome everyone back. Under 5 to play in this third quarter. Queens starting to run away with this one, courtesy that 8-0 run spurred by a couple of very good defensive sets and forcing turnovers, especially in the Spice's end, which obviously when the red light's on, that can be a lot of trouble. They just have no answer for number 22 today. Wilson has just been unbelievable today. I mean, just phenomenal. I don't know how many bodies you're going to have to put on her as this season wears on. I mean, the Queens, they're just a very physical team. Another turnover coming the other way. And an easy lay-in for Blunt, quietly putting together a very solid performance in week 2. But you see that press is just giving them fits. Finally get it across the timeline. 3 ball has not been there. Williams able to scoop up a little loose change. Williams gets it across easily. Over to Duran, swing pass. Oh, nice look. Second time's a charm. See, Blunt tried to be sneaky and pick the pocket. Oh, Duran does. Saw James wasn't looking, and then Duran snuck through the back. Sometimes if you're not contributing on the offensive side of the floor, defense always comes in handy. That's going to get you a lot of burn, a lot of minutes. Angel Williams having a moment or two with one of our referees today. We'll see how this team responds with under 4 to play in this third, then in the fourth. And speaking of the Spice, how they respond. I mean, the talent is there. They have players that can play. I just think it's the continuity. They're not in a rhythm of the rhyme. Get in a groove. You've got to commit to practice during the week. You can't just have 3 or 4 players showing up. You got to buy in. You have to be all in. And that goes for any team in any league, in any sport. And I think with the reps and they start to work in the flow of the offense and they start to develop trust with each other, they're going to be able to hang in there and win some games this season, no doubt. Not sure what the issue is. Little housekeeping. Let's get this third quarter continuing, which gives us a moment to remind everyone about what transpired in week 2. As I mentioned, the Aces moved to 2-0, 28 of 64 from beyond the arc, 43%. Watkins with a game-high 33. Chaos and Sound, they fall to 0-2. They're desperate for a win in week 3, and the Lady Wolves raced past Maryland, as I mentioned. Young has it. Floater in the lane, off the mark. I believe that was Jones. Duran now with Young on her. And that's a good rebound and finally box out. Young has it with her head up. It's been that kind of afternoon for the visitors. 3:25 to go in this third. And if you're a fan of Mississippi, as I mentioned, because of their height, you know, they go big. And even with that 2-3, you have two good primary ball handlers. And, you know, quite frankly, Blunt quietly has put together a really good game. Holmes, you know, she's a player that can easily explode for 15 to 18. And you look in the low block, whether it's Womack, as I mentioned, even, you know, Wilson plays above her height. I mean, she's just so strong physically. You know, Williams, 5'10". That's a good bucket the other end. So you still love the effort from the Spice, down big in this one, but still battling, and that's what the coaches look for. And that's Smith to the line. Durant had her head up with a long pass in the interior. It's going to come back the other end. Young, 3 ball. Back in the iron. Holmes makes that foul line extended, drops it off. She'll receive it right back. Wilson flashed for a moment beyond the arc. Holmes, 12-footer. Durant missed that little bunny. Coming back. Young has it right now. That's a really nice move. She shielded with her left arm and then laid it in with the right hand. That's a really nice little point guard play by Christina Young. That's a smart heads-up play. Durant coming back the other end. And Young with the hustle play. Strips it. It goes off the leg. It looks like it goes off the leg of Durant, I believe. I thought they were saying it's Spice ball, and it is. 2:05 to go in this third quarter. I think Young and Brown, number 4 and number 13 respectively, I think they, you know, you get them involved early, get that confidence going, get them into some type of rhythm, allow them to create a little bit. Once they find their groove, they should be able to have that offense run through them. It should be predicated on the guards creating. Blunt thought about the 3, pulls it back. Wilson now puts it on the floor. Good look inside. Disrupted, though. Excellent job defensively by the Spice. Long 3 from Blunt. And the Spice have it, and they want to get out, and they want to run. Smith changes direction. Now with the right hand. They'll swing it. Young, one more time. But see right there, she's going to go back, and she will watch. That was a rush shot. Clean look, but she didn't have to rush it. And I think that comes with confidence, you know, having that internal clock that I have a second or two to square my shoulders and set my shot. What she always gives you is that, the hustle. 70-49, $1:10 to go in this third quarter. But if they can get a little bigger, you know, get in some consistent practices, figure out if they're going to run that 2-3, if they want to go inside, then kick it out. If they want to try to be a team that is going to be more predicated on the guards, if they want to be a team that wants to go bigger, if they want to establish themselves on the low block, that's exactly what the Queens have done through 2 weeks. We've seen around the league. The Aces are starting to do it. You know, these bigger teams, we saw it a little bit with Virginia. They're taking advantage, and they're exploiting the middle of the floor. So if I can get my Fanny down on the low block, and all of a sudden I'm drawing that double team or that weak side help, I've got to have confidence in my 4 teammates. If I'm kicking it out beyond the arc, near the perimeter, you got to knock down your shot. And I think that's going to grow. And I think a lot of that has to do with just the lack of practice time. And that's tough. We're early on in the season. Once there's structure and that's figured out, these teams will be okay. One of two. And the fact that the WABA emulates the ABA when it comes down to turnovers, and you have that opportunity, you're never out of a game. I mean, you can be down 15, 16, 17 points. You get a couple turnovers in the back court. You get the violation. That 2 becomes a 3, 3 becomes a 4, and you blink, and all of a sudden you've ripped off 12 points. That's unique. And you saw right there, the Queens about 4 minutes ago, they figured, hey, we're going to start pressuring them. Full court press, get those turnovers, get some quick bunnies, and all of a sudden, now you got a 10, 11, 12-point lead, explodes to a 20-point lead, and now you got a team on the road forcing their hand. Young sets her shot, and that's what you're looking for. Plenty of time, pulls the trigger, and delivers. Good game thus far for Christina Young. Williams taking advantage of the mismatch. And another drop-off with division. James Corrado momentarily, and the Spice got some numbers. Young pulls it back out. You see a little bit of the frustration there. Williams contested the shot. Check that. Wilson did. Closing in on 3. Still a big deficit to overcome for the Spice as we are through 3 from Mississippi. End of the third quarter. Queens lead at 71-46 of the Spice. Gives us a reminder. This is WABA Game of the Week. Mississippi looking to go to 2-0. Spice trying to pick up their first win of the season. 3 quarters in the books. We will step aside. We will come back for the fourth quarter.